Most drivers in New York have no idea how close they already are to losing their license. Not reckless drivers, not people with a history of serious violations. Completely ordinary people who drive to work, drop their kids off at school, and run errands on the weekend. People who have never once thought of themselves as dangerous behind the wheel. And starting February 26, 2026, thousands of those drivers could wake up to a letter from the DMV telling them their license is at risk of suspension, all because of 2 tickets. Not 10, not 5, just 2. Here is what makes this so serious. The state of New York quietly updated its driver point system, and most people driving on these roads right now still have no idea it happened. They are operating under the assumption that the old rules are still in place. They believe they have a comfortable amount of room before anything serious happens. But that room just got a whole lot smaller, and the drivers who do not know that are the most vulnerable. Let me explain exactly what changed and why it matters so much. For years, New York drivers could accumulate up to 11 points on their license within an 18-month window before the DMV would consider suspending them. That system had its flaws, but it gave drivers a reasonable amount of breathing room. A couple of minor tickets over time usually was not enough to push someone into dangerous territory. Under the new rules, that threshold has dropped to 10 points. 1 point less does not sound dramatic until you understand the two other changes that came with it. The window for how long points stay on your record has been extended from 18 months to 24 months. That is an extra 6 months where every single ticket you received still counts against you. And on top of that, several of the most common everyday violations now carry higher point penalties than they ever did before, so you have fewer points allowed, those points stick around longer, and the violations that earn you points are now worth more. When you put all three of those things together, the math becomes genuinely alarming. Think about the most ordinary driving scenario imaginable. You are on the New York State Thruway, moving with the flow of traffic at around 65 miles per hour in a 55 zone. A trooper pulls you over. That ticket, under the new system, now carries 4 points instead of 3. You pay it, you move on, and a couple of months later you are stuck in slow-moving traffic, and you glance down at your phone for a second to check your GPS. An officer sees the phone in your hand. That violation now carries 6 points. Add those 2 tickets together, and you have exactly 10 points. 10 points is the new line where the DMV begins suspension proceedings. 2 stops. 2 moments that happen to drivers across this state every single day. And just like that, your license is on the line. The 3 violations you absolutely need to understand right now are minor speeding, cell phone use, and speeding inside a construction zone. Minor speeding, meaning going anywhere from 1 to 10 miles per hour over the limit, used to carry 3 points. It now carries 4. That might feel insignificant until you realize that 2 of those tickets within a 2-year period puts you at 8 points, leaving you just 2 away from suspension. Cell phone violations are even more dangerous. That penalty jumped from 5 points to 6, meaning a single phone ticket now accounts for more than half of your entire point allowance. And the law does not care whether you are moving or sitting at a red light. If you are behind the wheel and that phone is in your hand, it counts. Construction zone speeding is where things get genuinely frightening. Any speeding inside a work zone now carries 8 points from a single ticket. 8 points. With the suspension threshold sitting at 10, one construction zone ticket leaves you just 2 points away from losing your license entirely. And these zones are everywhere. The Thruway, the BQE, the Long Island Expressway, Route 17, Interstate 390. Many of these zones span miles of highway, and the speed limit can drop suddenly with signage that is easy to miss, especially at night or in bad weather, when you are simply following the pace of traffic around you. There is also something most drivers are not thinking about at all, and that is equipment violations. Burned out taillights, expired inspection stickers, cracked windshields, window tint that is slightly too dark. These used to result in warnings or small fines. Under the updated rules, several of them now carry 1 point each. 1 point sounds small until you realize how tight the margins already are. A driver sitting at 8 points who gets pulled over and has a burned-out brake light just crossed the threshold. Picture this. You are driving home late on a rainy night. You enter a construction zone without catching the speed limit sign. A trooper clocks you doing 63 in a reduced speed area. While writing the ticket, the officer notices a tail light is out and your inspection sticker expired last month. That is 8 points for the construction zone violation, 1 for the taillight, 1 for the sticker. 10 points from a single traffic stop on an ordinary night when you genuinely believed you were doing nothing wrong. If you reach that 10-point mark, the DMV sends you a notice requiring a hearing. At that hearing, they determine whether to suspend your license and for how long. Suspensions can last anywhere from 1 month to a full year. During that time, you cannot legally drive anywhere. No commute, no school pickups, no grocery runs, no medical appointments unless a special exception is granted. And if you drive anyway and get caught, you are looking at misdemeanor charges, fines up to $500, possible jail time, and an extended suspension. The financial damage goes beyond fines. Once you hit 6 points, New York automatically charges you a driver responsibility assessment. It starts at $100 per year for 3 years, and every point above 6 adds another $25 annually. Reach 10 points, and you are paying $600 directly to the state before your insurance company even finds out. And when they do find out, your premiums can double or triple. Over 5 years, that increase alone can cost $10,000 or more, all because of habits that felt completely harmless in the moment. Here is what you need to do right now. First, go to the New York DMV website and pull your current driving record. Know exactly how many points you have and when they expire. Second, walk around your car today and check every light, your inspection sticker, your registration, and your window tint. Fix anything that is out of compliance before a routine traffic stop turns into a surprise violation. Third, if you already have points on your record, seriously consider taking an approved defensive driving course. These courses are widely available online. They take about 5 hours, they cost between $25 and $50, and they can remove up to 4 points from your effective total. That could be the buffer that keeps you safe if another ticket comes your way. The rules changed. The margin for error shrank. And the drivers who know that now are in a far better position than the ones who are going to find out the hard way. Share this with anyone you know who drives in New York, because this information could genuinely save someone's license, their income, and their daily independence before these rules start catching people completely off guard.